Welcome. I am Jay Friesen, a broker with the Jennifer Gale team and Gale Group Realty Brokerage, and I'm here with.
I'm Shannon Woolley, the mortgage girl.
Today we're going to talk about mortgage pre-approvals, what it is, and the importance of it. So, welcome, Shannon. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you. I love talking about this stuff because there's a big misconception out there with pre-approval. So thank you for getting the word out there.
No problem. There is. Even lots of my clients will say, oh, and we'll go into some of these questions, and I'll kind of reiterate the fact that a client has told me this before. Hey, I don't need this because this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is a mortgage pre-approval?
So an official mortgage pre-approval means we're verifying your income, verifying your credit, and verifying your down payment and assets, which means we don't take your word for it. As much as I would love to say we can take your word for it, we have to see the documentation. We want to see T4s, pay stubs, job letters, tax returns, so that we know for sure that your income can be verifiable. Okay. We also want to see documentation regarding the down payment. So I've had people ask me if they can sell gold or sell silver. And yes, the answer is yes, but it actually has to be sold and the money has to be in your account. Okay. So we will ask for documentation.
Okay, perfect. Good. So that was my next question was, I have a lot of people saying, oh, well, I did an online calculator. I plunked in all my numbers, my income, my debts, and said, oh, I can afford a $500,000 house. Is that the same as a pre-approval?
It is not. So a mortgage pre-qualify or a mortgage qualification calculator just can only calculate whatever input is put into it. So if somebody says they make $75,000 a year and have no debt when they actually only make $65,000 a year and they have student debt and car payments and credit cards, it's going to look very different. So mortgage pre-qualification is a good starting point, but definitely getting pre-approved is where you want to go, especially if you want to buy a home.
Okay. So say I go, we talk, I'm pre-approved for $500,000. Does that mean I can go and put an offer on a house for $500,000 and not worry about a finance condition?
No, and thank you for asking that. So I can pre-approve a client. I can figure out how much they can afford. Mm-hmm. I can't pre-approve a house. Okay. And the reason is we don't know whether or not an appraisal is going to be required. We don't know if the client paid $500,000, but perhaps maybe the house is only worth $485,000. Do they have the difference in shortfall? Yes. The other issue could be just because we love the client and we can give the client money, the bank or the lender or the credit union may not like the house. Okay. If there has been issues with mold in the past, perhaps maybe a previous grow operation, if there's any issue with marketability on the property, if there's been high-tech plumbing, there's all different things. So I can pre-approve a client, can't pre-approve the house. So we have to tell people, and ethically we have to tell people, if they are trying to borrow money for a mortgage, they're not cash buyers.
Yes.
So ethically, we have to tell them to put a condition of financing in so that they're protected.
Okay. Condition of financing, typically how long would that condition be required for?
I guess it would depend on the client, right? If we have a super strong client that provides all their documentation up front that we know for sure is going to have no issue, and if we are certain there's not going to be any issues with the property, I have lenders that can turn on approval around same day.
Okay.
If it's a little bit more of a complex deal, we might say, 5 to 7 days. If it's a very complex deal, 7 to 10 business days.
Okay, perfect. So it kind of touched about a home appraisal, how that can affect. So I'm pre-approved for $500,000. I pay $500,000 for the house. It only appraises at $450,000. Does that mean I have to come up with extra money to cover the difference?
You do. Depending again on the type of approval. So if you were doing minimum down payments, so the minimum 5% down, and if it appraises for $50,000 less, you have to come up with the $50,000 difference plus your 5% down.
Okay, that's good to know.
If you have a much larger down payment and it appraises a little bit light, then that just comes down to the client's financial situation.
Just a little bit more of a mortgage then rather than more down payment.
You got it.
Okay. So is a pre-approval only required for first-time home buyers?
No, not at all. We pre-approve people that are looking to purchase investment properties, or if you're looking to sell and purchase a larger home, or the reverse, if you're looking to downsize. Okay. Just because you have a mortgage now does not automatically mean you're going to qualify for a mortgage again. Rules, policies, procedures change, bank, credit unions, lenders, risk appetite changes. So it's important. If you are going to be moving at all, it's very important to talk to a mortgage professional first.
Okay, I suppose we all have more debt, so by the time you go to renew your mortgage or move, maybe you've accumulated more debt, correct? That could help.
Yeah, or income can change, right?
Yes.
Especially if you're looking at a downsizing situation, perhaps maybe you're going into retirement. You got approved to buy that home when you were working full time. Now you're on a pension income, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to qualify.
Okay, perfect. Last question I have is a pre-approval recommended before you start your home search?
Absolutely. It definitely makes sense to talk to a mortgage professional because you want to make sure, number one, you can get approved for what you're shopping for.
Yes.
And budget-wise. Everybody wants to buy the big, beautiful home. But then when they look at what that mortgage payment looks like, maybe that's not the path they want to go down. So talking to a mortgage professional will hold a rate for you as well in a rising interest rate environment.
Good. We'll talk about that right after this.
So you know that you're protected and that rate is held for up to 120. Actually, there's some lenders that will do up to 150 days, so 5 months. And then that way you know you're shopping within your affordable price point. So if you have a set number in your mind of what you want your mortgage payment to be, you know what you're shopping for.
Okay, that's awesome. And about the rate hold. So why is that important for purchasers to get a rate hold at every step of the game? And if they have a rate hold, the mortgage rate goes down, does that rate hold stay in effect or do they get the lower rate?
So the rate holds are awesome in a rising interest rate environment, right? Because it protects you. So, if I look into my crystal ball, I genuinely believe that housing prices are going to start to go up in the next few months as rates start to come down. So I think buy a house now, but close it maybe 2 or 3 months down the road. That way you're getting in now, and as the rates fall, your payment will fall. In a rising interest rate environment, by getting that rate hold now, let's say we do a rate hold for you now, you could buy in April, you're going to get today's rates, not what the rates are in April.
Okay.
If we do that rate hold for you now and the rates do fall as they are expected to, most lenders, in fact, all banks, credit unions, basically all the lenders will do float downs. Okay. So they'll float that rate down so that you get the lowest rate between now and when you actually are putting the key in the door.
Oh, perfect. Good stuff. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Shannon. I appreciate you coming out here and sharing your knowledge with us about mortgage pre-approvals. If you need any more information about mortgages, feel free to contact Shannon. Her contact information will be below. And if you want to talk anything about real estate, please contact me. My information will be below.
I really appreciate you doing this because the number of people that have come to me to say, can I do a cash offer now that I'm pre-approved? This gets that message out there. We would love to say yes, but we have to make sure the clients are protected because we can't pre-qualify the home. So thanks for listening.
No problem. Thank you very much.